There is a quiet kind of strength that lives in stillness, not the kind that shouts or performs or needs to be understood, but the kind that chooses peace over proving, that lets the world wonder rather than wasting breath. That kind of strength, the soft, unwavering kind, is rare, and it is powerful. You don't need to explain yourself, not to the world, not to anyone who misjudges you, not to those who don't see your heart. Because the truth is, most people don't hear you when you speak. They hear their expectations, their fears, their projections. And every time you rush to explain, to defend, to correct the version of you they've constructed in their minds, you bleed a little more of your peace into places it was never meant to go. What if you simply stopped? What if, the next time someone misunderstood you, you just let them? It would hurt. It might feel like failure. It might stir the ancient ache of wanting to be seen, to be known, to be approved of. But beneath that ache lies the beginning of liberation, a doorway into silence, a homecoming to the self that no longer needs to be validated to be whole. Never complain, never explain, not because you have something to hide, but because you have something to protect. Your energy, your peace, your sacred center. There is a Zen story about the Japanese Zen master, Hakuin Ekaku, who was known throughout the village as a wise and respected teacher, a man of calm presence and deep insight. One day, the daughter of a wealthy family found herself pregnant. Terrified of her parents' anger, she invented a name to protect herself. In panic, she said, it was Hakuin, the monk. The scandal spread like wildfire. Her family, outraged and ashamed, marched to the temple. They shouted at Hakuin, accused him, humiliated him in front of others. Everyone waited for a reaction, a denial, a defense, a protest. But Hakuin simply looked at them and replied, is that so? No anger, no explanation, just acceptance. From that moment, his reputation collapsed. Disciples left him. People whispered behind his back. And when the baby was born, the family brought the child to Hakuin, declaring it his responsibility. He did not refuse. He did not argue. He took the baby into his arms and raised it as his own. Every day, Hakuin walked from house to house, asking for milk to feed the child. People mocked him, judged him, said things behind his back. He's not the man we thought he was, they murmured. But he stayed silent. He never tried to clear his name. He simply loved the child and remained steady in his practice. Years passed. Eventually, the young woman, burdened by guilt, confessed the truth to her parents, that Hakuin had done nothing wrong. Shocked and ashamed, the family rushed back to the temple, begging for forgiveness and asking to take the child back. And once again, Hakuin looked at them with the same calm eyes and said, is that so? No blame, no resentment, no I told you so, just peace. He did not live to be understood. He lived from a place of understanding. Never complain, never explain. Some truths do not need defending, they simply endure. You don't have to answer every question. You don't have to justify your choices. You don't have to make yourself small enough to fit inside someone else's understanding. You were not born to be explained. You were born to be, and being is enough. Let us sit here now with the ache of not being understood. Let us not try to escape it. Let us feel the child inside us who once needed so desperately to be seen, to be praised, to be loved for who they were. Let us offer that child our presence now. Not explanations, not defenses, just presence, just breath. Let this moment be enough. Let your silence speak louder than words ever could. Stillness is not absence, it is presence, intensified. It is the moment you stop trying to be heard and start truly listening. To the breath, to the body, to the quiet voice beneath the noise that whispers, you are okay. Not because they said so, not because you proved anything, but because you are here, and your being is sacred. You owe no one an explanation for choosing your peace. You owe no one a breakdown of your healing, your path, your pace, your preferences. You owe no one your pain wrapped in digestible language. Sometimes the kindest, most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. The world is loud. People talk over each other not to communicate, but to survive. Every interaction becomes a negotiation. Do you see me the way I need to be seen? Do you agree with me? Can I make you understand? And it is exhausting, because we are trying to prove our right to exist. But you already exist. You already matter. You are already worthy. Breathe. Drop the armor of explanation. Drop the reflex to justify. Drop the story that you need to be understood to be okay. You are not a performance. You are not a brand. You are not a caption waiting for likes. You are a soul, and the soul does not explain. It simply is. When you stop explaining, something remarkable happens. You begin to hear yourself. You begin to hear what you actually think and feel, unfiltered by fear of judgment. You start to build a relationship with your own truth. And from that place, the silence becomes sanctuary. Not everyone deserves access to your story. Not every room is meant to hold your truth. Sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do for yourself is to close the door, light a candle, and sit in the stillness of your own presence. Because silence is not weakness. It is reverence for your path, your becoming, your boundaries. Let the world misunderstand you. Let them question your motives. Let them call your silence distance, arrogance, aloofness. You know what it really is: protection, clarity, self-respect. Let your silence be your teacher. Let it mirror to you what words can never say. You are enough. You don't have to explain why. And in this enoughness, life softens. No longer driven by the compulsion to be interpreted correctly, you begin to live differently. Slowly, deliberately, with care, with soul. You choose your words with love, or you choose none at all. You stop interrupting your own peace to make others comfortable. You let silence become your boundary, your wisdom, your sanctuary. This is not indifference. This is not coldness. It is devotion to your essence, your wholeness, your sacred energy. It is trust. Trust that your life does not require constant explanation to be valid. Trust that your actions, aligned with truth, will ripple more deeply than any justification ever could. There is a form of love that doesn't speak much. It just shows up. It stays consistent. It listens. It lives in the pause between breaths, in the held gaze, in the presence that says, I am with you, even in silence. Give yourself that love. Be the one who stays with you when you choose not to explain. Be the one who hears your heart when the world doesn't. And when the old stories return, the ones that whisper, you owe them clarity, you owe them proof. Breathe again. Return to the mountain. Feel the quiet power in your chest. Know that not every truth needs an audience. Some truths are sacred. Some are for you in the sky. Some are for you in the night. Some are for you in your breath. This is your homecoming. This is your healing. This is your power. You owe no one an explanation. You owe yourself peace. And maybe that's the lesson in the quiet, that healing is not loud. Growth is not always visible. Wisdom does not need to shout. Maybe your softness is your greatest strength. Your silence, the truest reflection of your inner freedom. When you no longer need the world to affirm your path, you walk lighter. When you stop trying to be understood, you begin to understand yourself. And this is where life begins again. Not in the endless performance, but in the soft knowing. I am who I am, even in silence. So if today you feel misunderstood, unseen, unheard, sit with yourself. Place your hand on your heart. Say gently, I see you, I hear you, I trust you, and I love you, even if no one else understands. Because the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with your own presence. And in that presence, there is no need for defense. There is only being, still, sacred, whole. You owe no one an explanation, and that, perhaps, is your greatest freedom. Let this be the place you return to again and again. Welcome home. Welcome to Digital Monk.